See also Debre Libanos for another monastery of the same name. Debre Libanos is a monastery in Ethiopia, lying northwest of Addis Ababa in the Semien Shewa Zone of the Oromia region. Founded in the 13th century by Saint Tekle Haymanot, according to myth, he meditated in a cave for 29 years. The monastery's chief abbot, called the Ichege, was the second most powerful official in the Ethiopian Church after the Abuna. The monastery complex sits on a terrace between a cliff and the gorge of one of the tributaries of the Abbey River. None of the original buildings of Debre Libanos survive, although David Buxton suspected there are interesting things still to be found among the neighboring cliffs. Current buildings include the church over Tekle Haymanot's tomb, which Emperor Haile Selassie ordered constructed in 1961, a slightly older Church of the Cross, where Buxton was told a fragment of the true cross is preserved, and 5 religious schools. The cave where the saint lived is in the nearby cliffs, which one travel guide describes as a 5-minute walk away. This cave contains a spring, whose water is considered holy and is the object of pilgrimages. According to David Buxton, the original route to Debre Libanos was through a cleft in the cliffs that line the eastern side of the abbey. In the later 20th century a road was laid from the main Addis Ababa, Debre Marcos highway to the monastery. It is a little more than 4 kilometers long. History: Debre Libanos suffered great destruction during the invasion of Ahmad Gran when one of his followers, Uri Abu Bakr, set it afire the 21st of July 1531, despite the attempts of its community to ransom the church. Although the Ichege intervened to protect the Gambos during the reign of Sasa Dengel, the buildings were not completely rebuilt until after the visit of Emperor Iyasu the Great in 1699. In the reign of Emperor Fasilides, after invading Oromos had ravaged the monastery's lands in Shewa, the emperor granted the Ichege his palace at Azazo, where the various Ichege lived, for the 17th century until the matter was resolved in a synod convened by Emperor Johannes II. The Ichege and the monks of Debre Libanos were the most important supporters of the years.The doctrine, in opposition to the House of Ur status. Emperor Haile Selassie's interest in Debre Libanos dates to when he was governor of the district of Selil. The emperor notes in his autobiography that during the reconstruction of the church at Debre Libanos, an inscribed gold ring was found in the excavations, which he personally delivered to then Emperor Menelik II. Following the attempted assassination on his life on the 19th of February 1937, Governor Rodolfo Graziani believed the monastery's monks, the novices, were involved in this attack, and unwilling to wait for the results of the official investigation, ordered Italian colonialists to massacre the inhabitants of this monastery. On the 21st of May of that year, 297 monks and 23 laymen were killed, although when Buxton visited Debre Libanos in the mid-1940s, he found the remains of these victims were plainly visible. A cross-shaped tomb was afterwards built to contain the remains, which stands next to the parking lot. Mosaics and stained glass for the monastery were made and exhibited in London at the Festival Hall by E.O. Hevesi and G.J. Barjo. Burials: Abuna Basilios.